Okay, today is paint over day. I found an old canvas that had been lightly covered with one very thin coat to kind of wash back what was existing. And the canvas has been kicking around my studio for about a year. And I saw it the other day and thought, I think it's ripe for a paint over. So here I am doing a nice new layer of titanium white. I'm using Michael's Artist's Loft titanium white paint. It's my favorite white paint. And I'm basically, this is fast mode now because, nothing to it. We're painting over in white and getting every little splotch and flip that sucker over and finish the bottom half. After this first layer dries of today's new white paint, you're going to still see some of the old painting shining through, but that's okay. Who cares? We're going to paint over it. This is basically just to provide a mask so we have kind of a clean start. Okay, Prussian blue, and on my flat-headed palette knife. This is not an important part. This is fun. I spread the paint. I'm just basically observing how it's going on. Oh, got to break up that blotch. We don't want too many heavy, thick blotches. We want some of the light shining through, and that is created by the white paint underlayment. And so, here we go with a little raw sienna. I love how it blends with the Prussian blue. It gives me kind of a green shade and earth tones. A little more titanium white. These layers aren't exactly bone dry in between. I'm speeding up some of the sections because otherwise it's a very long video. But at any rate, they are a little dry because as I'm applying the white paint, if the layer underneath was wet, it'd be really creating a mud kind of color. So I do let the layers dry a little bit in between. Not always showing that. It's kind of boring to watch. And this is just water in my trusty old spritzer. This breaks up the white and allows some of the Prussian blue to shine through. And using a palette knife, I'm kind of caking on the titanium white now to help disappear part of that painting that is still showing through from before the original painting. I mostly mix my colors on canvas. Rarely do I mix color on a board or a mixing board or tray like a lot of people use. I just go right in and start to blend the colors on the canvas. That to me is the most exciting and kind of dangerous element, and I love that. I love that in my work. That's why I paint. I paint because I don't know what is going to come. I don't know what is going to evolve. It's so exciting to me and adds a real spark, in my life. I hope you, when you're painting, that you also take advantage of that element of not knowing and looking for, surprises. Surprise yourself and anger yourself too. That's okay too. Painting is, I think, such a wonderful outlet for our expression of our inner self. So get in there, get your old canvases, don't throw them out, for heaven's sake. Try to paint over them, paint over them, paint over them until you can't paint over them anymore because they're just too heavy to pick up. Then you remove that canvas that you painted over 1,000 times and you can trash it and save out the stretcher bars, which is the wooden frame behind the canvas. We can, together I'll show you in another video how I recover the existing stretcher bars when I could no longer save the canvas on top. I like to use my spritzer bottle almost like a spray can, and some of the underneath painting will show through. Isn't that exciting? I don't know what's going to happen. Kind of like finger painting when we were kids, and we didn't know. And if we were fortunate enough, we had a clever teacher that could take away the finger painting before it got too, totally destroyed. Okay, so, different sort of aspects of how this painting evolved. At some point, I must have added some more white, and then now I'm going in and palette knifing over the sections that I think could use a little more brightness. This painting did sell, by the way, pretty quickly. I have a list of people that keep in touch with me and do like to see my newest work before it even sort of gets published on Instagram or my website. So I need to invite more of you to sign up for an email list. I actually don't have a formal email list yet. Oh, here I am flipping the canvas to work on the bottom. Bring in some more of that white. I think that white really helps to make the piece pop. Whatever I'm working on, I just love using the white as an accent and to kind of highlight the part that's most important. Fast mode because, it's white. Paint, 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 paint. Oh, then I decide to go into the middle part, opening up. I've often said it's almost like trees, and you're opening up kind of the in between the branch and the leaves where the light shines through. I do think about that when I'm painting. This painting could almost hang in this orientation. I think it's okay this way too. It's not how I intended it, but sometimes I complete a painting and I turn it sort of upside down, and it works better. In fact, I shouldn't say sometimes, often. So that means in my brain, I'm painting things upside down and not being conscious of it. Isn't that cool? This is almost done. But of course, I'm going to keep going because that's what I do. Flipping it over one more time. Trusty handy hair dryer. Because my layers are thin, they dry really quickly. And the hair dryer is very helpful to help dry it out so that I can carry on without having to wait hours and hours for the paint to dry. Okay, but here I am still kind of polishing up the piece with some more white. And then it suddenly dawns on me that I wanted to extend the painting out to the edge of the canvas. And this is how I do that. And I think it adds a little more depth, a little more balance. I could stop at any time, but of course I'm going to keep going because that's what I do. But I've got some extra added color, and using a damp paper towel, I'm going to just kind of blend. I don't want to remove all the markings, but I want to give a sense of, I guess it's a sense of sunlight at the horizon. And continuing on with that raw sienna to add some sort of shadow effects at the bottom, kind of underneath whatever that blob is. When I move up to the top, it's very, very light because once again, I'm creating more of a sunlight effect on the top, and on the bottom, it's more of a shadow. So there is a little rhyme or reason to my work, even though sometimes I don't know really what my approach is. A lot of it is intuitive. When they talk about intuitive painting, for me, it's not just trusting where the paint goes. It's kind of with some technique, definitely with a plan. Not a formal plan. The plan evolves as I'm painting. So I do have people asking me, do I do workshops? I don't know. At this point, I don't know what I would share that I can't share right here on a video, because it's mostly how I paint. I'm not sure exactly what I would tell people in a workshop to do. They would just have to watch me, and then I'd be babbling like I am right now. And I don't know if that's what artists are interested in. Okay, so blue across the bottom for some weight. And you saw me paint it on horizontally and then spritz a little water, not too much. and a damp paper towel to blend. This color is just simply called light blue, and it's by Liquitex. So blend, 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 blend. I like how it's going. The white had been completely dry before I added the blue. I like the striations that you get, the lines up and down. Not everything I paint is up and down, but this particular painting, it looks like it's mostly vertical strokes. I remember as I was painting it that I was happy with the way it was turning out, and I enjoy this blending part. I enjoy blending it in. Okay, what we got here is a finished painting. Finished and out the door. Thanks for watching.